this going. All right, we'll be courteous of your guys' time while you're here. So we'll get started, and this is recorded. I will also send out the slides that I'm showing, so you guys can see that. They'll do that in the follow-up email, just so you guys know, in case you need to go back to your district and have that conversation. So if you guys don't know who I am Kim Carr. I'm the Executive Director and the founder of Digital4Good, and underneath that, we do have 3 pyramids of ICANHELP. So it's ICANHELP Educate, which is our curriculum courses and our trainings. ICANHELP Engage, which is our social media, our webinars, and our events. And then ICANHELP Lead, which is our interns and mentors. So just know that's who we are, to kind of build us up. We believe in those 3 frames to make it so you can have a good Digital4Good benefit. So like I said, I'm going to screen share here. So let me get this going on this piece. Right. Okay. All right. My background is in education. I taught for 13 years, middle school, the fun age, started seeing all the issues. And so we're going to be celebrating. I'm super excited. We're celebrating 10 years in August of this nonprofit, of being around. So I feel like we are definitely being the experts in this kind of realm. We've teamed up with all the big tech companies. I'm having calls even this summer with the big tech companies. So if anybody wants to join and hear what they're seeing, where their issues lie, and how we're talking to them, it does help, right? It does help to have other educators. We do bring students with us as well, so that everybody can be a part of that conversation, because this is a problem, right? If you guys saw, the Surgeon General came out saying that, yes, mental health is affecting our youth in the mental health space. I'm sorry, social media is affecting our youth in the mental health space. So I guarantee you, in the next, our policy is going to get created, which that means states will be probably mandating some kind of form of digital safety, and citizenship will have to be made, right, on that end. So that's coming. And then going after some federals, we'll see what kind of approach is there. I know that we are in the process of working with other organizations like NASSP and AMLE to be able to work together and collaborate on what kind of policies we want to help kind of create. So that is real, because, I mean, do you want to protect your school, your students from getting in the headlines? Like there's headlines pretty much on a regular week about students misusing social media, right? So we want to protect your school from that. Literally, I live in Northern California, and this year there were 4 football teams, 4, in a pretty close radius. All 4 of them, they had to end their football season early because of social media, right, of what they're posting. So it's just this big thing. Do you want to protect your school, your students from the headlines? Do you also want to protect them from school shooters, right? And a lot of them are posting things on social media. This is the Parkland school shooter. This is everything that he posted. And a lot of students are like, man, we saw this and we never did anything. So you want to, if you do training, plus awareness is going to be a proactive response, right? So those are kind of our formula to be able to have that proactive response around social media, because this is our model. It really isn't just, oh, we told them, right? We told them, is they need to see it too. So our social media really helps to engage with the students, right? Our events that we have every month, we have events with our student leaders. So we have a program where we have student leaders. We're onboarding them right now for this next year's program. So there's over 250 of them that are active all year long to help us keep the conversation going with students who are interested in this topic. Or if they're coming to us, hey, this is what somebody posted, what do I need to do? Because there's so many awkward situations, they need that direct helpline, and they do like going to their peers. So just knowing this is part of our solution is these 3 pyramids. Like if you go to other things like Common Sense Media, they're going to give you great, might give you some curriculum, but they don't give you these other pieces that's going to help build your students up to Digital4Good. So we do presentations, right? There is proven results in our presentations. It's actually getting backed this summer by University of Long Beach. The professors there are going to back it to show that, yes, our data is real. And then get it, we are hoping to get it, what do you call that? Put in oh gosh, you get it submitted in and it gets printed, right? So they'll actually be legit showing our proof, right? So the pre and post surveys after our school presentations are working. So now our next one they're helping us with is getting the curriculum backed, showing that that curriculum is working. We do have great packages. And again, this is what this webinar is going to do, is just how do you break this down? Because I do know every school is different. Every school has different numbers and like how much money they can spend. But realize what's interesting about us is there's so many different pots of places you can take your money to be able to pay for this. A lot of people don't even think about it. This is actually also an addiction. So you can actually pull money out of addiction, right? So if you have any things for you can get from grants or from school things, it can even go in that. Is it a social emotional learning? It's also under the technology. Like there's principle, there's so many different pots this can come through, and we're happy to help you figure that out, or what's the right package for your school. Okay, so just realize we made these new ones too, the administrator package, just because we think those are important things. We're trying to train our admin for sure on how to deal with this. Everything is online. It's really easy to go through, and we make everything very friendly on that end. What I want to start off with is this is one of our newest programs. It is considered called our train the trainer model, because we are getting more and more people who are wanting to come to us and partner with us. We're not just a company, we really are a partner, right? Like we are here in the trenches with you, working with you. If you have an issue, we're going to be there, right? You're not just going to pay us and then we leave. So the train the trainer model is where you would come to either school district, or last year we did it in St. Louis and Kansas City. And so one school hosted and then other schools came in. They brought in up everything between, what did one school have? 10 students, and one school brought in 30 students. And they brought in up to 5 staff members to get trained on our presentations and our curriculum. They sat down as a team to map out where are our actual issues. Because if you can decrease your online drama, you can decrease your discipline. And your online drama is usually causing a lot of your on-campus drama. So talking about what is the drama? What's the drama on our campus? What's the drama on there? Because then you're getting a team of them to take ownership of what they can do. So this is the model that we have. And so in the PowerPoint, there is like the videos, what it comes with. And I'll actually show you what it actually comes with too. I'll pull up our website, but just realizing like it comes with the training, but then it also includes the admin course and our curriculum. All that stuff is in there to be able to have, right? So this is the outcomes are kind of relevant. We have been doing this for a couple years now, and so this is our data so far, right? It's a very small data of numbers. I mean, I think we had, what was it, 30,000 students have done the presentation one. This one's definitely way smaller, but I guarantee you it's going to, this is going to grow this next year. So this is the data we're already having. So it's already showing its impact within the 1.5 years that we have really been focusing on moving towards this way. So just realize students are seeing that it has changed. So let me go back because I'm going to actually pull up. I have already queued up. And when you go to our website, this is how easy it is. When you go to our website, all you have to do is you log into your library if you buy any of our stuff, and then you scroll down. And how we kind of operate too, unless if it's like the admin course, if you have 4 admin on your campus, you just let us know. Hey, can we have 4 admin codes for our admin? And we're happy to provide those. If you buy our curriculum, you just tell us, hey, we have this many teachers who need this curriculum, and we're able to give you that many codes. So we know that's kind of how that operates, right? So always just let us know how many codes you need for each of the products. So I'm going to scroll down. And here's the thing. What's neat is, since I had a whole bunch of schools in there this year of doing it in St. Louis and in Kansas City, they gave me a lot of feedback to be able to go and change that. So we're already in the process with my student team. We're breaking down the presentations into 4 smaller presentations, because right now, when I go into the presentation deck, there are 2 different ones you can download. When I click on this, it goes right here. You can download the presentation. I can download the speaker notes. When I hit that, it'll just say, I'll show you just so you can see. It'll go right into it because I already downloaded it. But it might say download, right? So it is right here. It's just a PowerPoint presentation. It's a Google Point Power presentation. That way, if you guys want to add anything to it, but we're trying to is we are going to be changing our policy where like this has to stay as is. So that's what we're going to be doing this summer, because we keep it as is. We can then get the data to be able to get more backing to keep our prices down on that end. So that's the whole goal. But as you can see, it's all very engaging, interactive, just like our presentations that we get such great feedback about. It just walks them through everything. Everything has images. We even throw in videos. Our videos were all made by our student team. So this was actually made by Jesse, one of our video students, right? So just seeing how powerful this is. And then each of them come with, oops, let me go back in here. They each have speaker notes already inside here, right? So they're at the bottom. But if somebody likes it as a PDF, it also comes as a PDF. So this is meant to be where you're training students on how to do the PowerPoint, and then they go do it in front of schools. So I've had high schools get trained. They do it to their entire school, or they just do it to their freshmen and sophomores, right? That's the beauty of this. Or they even go down. The high school has actually then gone down to their middle school. So then they get some high school students to go down to present to their middle school, which then they even go down to, if it's middle school, the high school even goes down to the elementary, and especially hit the 4th and 5th graders. Some of them are even now doing 3rd graders, because 3rd graders definitely are on devices a lot more, right? So this is the beauty of this, that this can be one of those things that can keep going down. Middle schoolers can do their middle schoolers, and they can go down and do their elementary, right? They can hit those students. They're getting to talk to them relevantly from the slide that are up and make it kind of connect to them. The other thing that I've had is they have actually done parent presentation nights. So we are kind of building that kind of stuff to be able to teach your students on how to build a great parent night presentation. So now the parents are hearing it actually from students. So that's what you're getting when you get the train the trainer model. If I go back to the modules, if I go to resources, what's inside here is we do have the collaboration with Providence Health, which is on the free mental health curriculum that we made with Providence. So we just made it easy access for you to grab if you want to choose any of those things. But then we also have these other resources where this is what we have them fill out during the training. Hey, what are the issues? And then what's an idea that you have to help, right? What is it something you can have? And then down here, what's the barriers? What's going to hold you back from making this happen? A lot of students will put vape, what else? Airdropping. But then it's not just that, it's also being racist on their school. This is an election year, so be ready for that. So, hey, these are issues. How can we help? And it doesn't have to be only social media. But again, if it's happening on your campus, I guarantee you someone is talking about it online. So understand that's the beauty and the beast of networking, of that piece, right? So, and then down here, it's making them pick of all those issues. Hey, what are 2 that you can actually focus on? What are 2 you want to focus on? And then let's start actually making an action plan of what you can make happen. So it's nice that we can kind of get them to the point where they can actually make an action plan by themselves, but then also as a group. And then here is where they have their top people who can help them is mentors, right? And networkers, and then buddies, right? And who can hold them accountable. So we walk them through this, and this is not just for the students. This is also for the admin to fill out. This is also for the counselors to fill out, because it is hard to get people on board. The best advice I actually got from a school who came, they said, Kim, we purposely invited some students and some staff who are non-believers, right? That are non-believers in social media, non-believers in any kind of programming. They came and they actually were believers. So I think that's super crucial, because then if you get these non-believers to go back and train other non-believers, it does kind of work. Well, it does work. So I just want to show you guys how easy this is. What we're adding again this summer is we're going to break it into 4 things. It'll be digital safety, digital citizenship, digital literacy, and then digital wellness. So they've asked to break it into 4 smaller ones where it'd be like a 10-minute, 12-minute presentation. That way it just makes it small, bite-sized pieces. And then there will be also next step, like what's next? Like, what do I do next? So once I've been to this training, there's a what next for admin to make you think out, okay, now that I've had this training, what is next for me? What is next for the counselor? What is next for the resource officer? What is next if you're an educator, right? What is next if you're the yard duty, right? So here's how you can help. We have these like what is next cards, and even students, what's next for you, so that they can go back and take power on that. So that is our train the trainer model. I just want to make sure you see that. If you have any questions, always put it in the chat or let me know. The other thing that we are rolling out this summer, I'm actually rolling out I'm speaking at the National Principals Association, is our social media emergency plan, knowing, hey, is this a threat? So we've created this. It's a really simple PDF. It's going to come up on our website. It will be free because we got a grant to be able to do this. That's the beauty when we get the data, when people help us out by taking the pre and post surveys. That's why it's usually in our contracts that we try to get that from you. It is super high, all hyperlinked. So let me actually pull this up here. There we go. It's a PDF. But what's nice about it that I like is I'm trying to make it as simple as we can. So it's just giving you ideas of what you can do to monitor, because I know some people, like a lot of people have Bark, they have GoGuardian, but nothing is 100%. So that's why you got to train digital first responders and your students. So if I think something is high risk, so see how this is broken down. This is all, and anything at high risk would be cops when you get involved. Anything in the middle is medium risk. That's like, you have to kind of lay that out. And then blue is definitely low risk. This is great even for the students, because when they come to you right away, they're like, oh my God, this is a mess. This is so, this is important to them. But then you're able to pull this chart out and show them, like, this is only connected to you and your 4 friends. This is not a high risk for me. Like, so you can, this is helping the admin help show students like what is important and where their priorities need to be at that time. And it kind of helps them kind of see that. It's like, this is how you can start helping us. And so if I click on high risk, it'll drop down to an example of a high risk is an Instagram post that threatens to bomb the school, right? So then step 1, if I click on these, it'll automatically go into the folders. Let's see what happens. So step 1, it'll go into the folders of the monitoring tips, and then it goes into the plan, right? If I went back and I pressed, this is your gathering evidence. So if I click on this, it'll go into here to gather the evidence. It has even like a checklist. All the kind of fun things are in there. It's coming up. It even has a Google form if you don't have something to report on that end. Okay, I'm going to click out of this. All right. So that's kind of the neat thing about this. It just kind of just keeps going. It has so much stuff in it. So this is all going to be free up on our site. So yeah, here's the checklist. The big one that it also has is it has the reporting. So these are all hyperlinks where you can go report. If you don't have Discord, you can go here and you can report. A lot of times this top one, I had a school that just reached out saying, hey, the top link does not work anymore. It does now. But because here's the thing, technology is constantly evolving. So every 3, sometimes 2, 3 months, they change their reporting rules. So that's why we try to put 2 links on there, because this one wasn't working before, but the report form, we went back to the company saying, hey, you've got to keep these links alive so that we, even if you change something, you got to keep one link alive so that we can make sure that the schools have access to it. So it's constantly changing and evolving, but we now have that connection with them. They usually now send it to us if they update something, which is nice. Or we get a school like you that says, hey, this link doesn't work. Here's the updated one. So we've done most of the work for them. If you keep scrolling down, a pro tip it does tell them is sometimes you can report more than once. And then it even has the hyperlinks to for the parent guidelines. There's some great things that are happening on the parental side of things for social media, which is needed. And then down here is hyperlinks for the law enforcement. So just want to make sure you see this is some of our work that we're doing because we're getting grants since people are helping us with the pre and post surveys. And again, it just helps you, hey, now see, hey, walking the students through which one do you think is high risk, which one do you think is low risk, and which one do you think is medium risk. And we show this to students, we show it to staff so they can kind of understand to see the difference, right? You've got the first picture where you have no clue. There's 2 people in the room or 2 people in the bathroom. You don't know what they're doing, but guess what? The students are doing. They're all online, blowing up. Like whose shoes are they? What's actually happening there? You can put your imagination where you want it to go. This is now all over school. This is definitely putting 2 people high risk of this embarrassment, right? Then you've got another girl where her picture's there. She's being called as a snitch. It's up. She's being called as a snitch. How bad is that? And the last one is just, hey, it's actually calling the person out. Ava's getting fingered at school. Ew, right? So there's 3 different scenarios. Where do we think these are? I'm not saying all of them are high, they're not medium. It's just making sure you go through that process of what you guys think. Our curriculum is very, the best compliments we've gotten is our curriculum is tired teacher friendly. There are supposed to be where it's peer-to-peer, right? So it's the students supposed to be doing it. We do need the teacher supporting them. It is walking side with them. It's not sitting on the computer just being like, I'm having a good time. No, it's literally, we need to make sure you're working side by side with them. So they come as a PDF. They also come as a Google slide, which is super nice, right? So just making sure you see how easy this is. And then embedded in this, we give you a video so you can actually see what that curriculum looks like. Without touching the video. There we go. So you can actually, doesn't want to go to the next slide. Okay. Oh yeah. All of our stuff now has videos. Again, we've got great students who have great videos. Aaron Judge from the Yankees is one of our ambassadors. So we, every month, you can recognize the students who's using Digital4Good, because you do need to celebrate students when they are using things for good in order to get to that Digital4Good kind of thing, right? And then it just has discussion questions. So it's simple, easy, right there, engaging, all that kind of stuff. Again, all of our stuff has been viewed by our peers that are in the program. So it's made by them, for them, right? So we're educators are working on them. Right now, we're breaking those 4 presentations into 4 groups. I'm having the students and I are going through them together. We're breaking them to what we think. And then once I get my teachers on summer break, then we're actually going to Santa Cruz to a beach house to go sit there and have them take a look, and then we'll go back to the students showing what the teachers suggested to change and what to add, so that the students can have one more look, and then they'll actually practice it, run through it to make sure they feel good that everyone can have it, right? So just seeing that concept, and the students come and join us all the time, so they can be part of the solution. Okay. So the next one I'm going to show you is our social media literacy curriculum. This is an actual class. So I have quite a few schools are getting prepared because they see the laws are going to start changing, and they're seeing that they need to have this as an actual class because they're having so many problems on their campus. So they'd rather be proactive and get into it now. I've had everything between, I have one school who's going to do it for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So they're asking me to work with them to help them separate what can they teach. If everyone did this class, what can they do for 6th grade, 7th, and 8th grade? So I got to figure that out this summer. So we're working on that. Some of them are doing it only for 6th grade wheel. Some of them are only doing it for 8th grade. And then I also have quite a few high schools who are doing it in their health classes or like their freshman class. Some of them, I had a couple high school, they're like, we're focusing on our sophomores because we just feel like they're so immature. So again, it just depends on where you think it needs to fit. So I'm going to actually pull up the course so you guys can actually, again, see. Go back into my library. You can see how we have it set up just because it is nice. I actually made this curriculum when I was teaching virtually. My school hired me back in as a sub. And so I was still running this nonprofit, but then was getting hired as a sub to do part-time teaching this class. And they were paying us to make the curriculum. And now we're able to sell it to more schools, which is cool. So again, there's a pre and post survey for this curriculum, the overview and the syllabus. So it's easy to send home to the parents so they know what they're covering. It right here has the curriculum downloads. And so if I go, we have it broken down into different units. So personal branding, online community, impact and outreach, digital first responder, digital wellness, and the use of Digital4Good and content creation. So at the end, we do want them to actually have fun and make something, right? So, and then the 8th one is just the where we put the icebreakers that they can kind of do as a warm up. So I already have this one downloaded, but I want you guys to see, here's a digital first responder. Here's what it looks like. This is all the supporting pieces, the PDFs that go along in the deck. And then it's even here. So it just has all the information. And so I can download the curriculum slides, which I click there, or I already have it queued up. So I already had downloaded it from there. If I click on here, again, here is the beauty of this. This comes as a PDF to explain each slide, but then it also is down here. And then if there's anything like, here's a YouTube that's going to come up. So then it shows that YouTube video. Each slide has speaker notes already inside them, but it also has a PDF with it. Okay, all of them are engaging. We've put some of the curriculum in there already to kind of show, and then sometimes schools will add more curriculum pieces from our other curriculum book. So this is kind of what it looks like. One of the lessons we'll do is have them Google search themselves, and then have them Google search their family, because it usually, when they Google search themselves, they're so young, but when they Google search someone like me, I didn't know I was a risky book author. There's been some funny conversations for this, right? If I come down, there's even the Division I basketball coach who got to talk about, you know, how she's looking at the social media for her students, how they do a scavenger hunt. A lot of schools will ask, well, what if you have a no phone policy? You can have it where they're doing it on the teacher's computer, and they have to find it that way together as a class. So someone's kind of instructing it. What if you do if a student doesn't have a phone or doesn't have Instagram? You have them partner with somebody. You have them be the judge to look who has their hand raised first, right? So there's different ways, and it's actually in the instructions for all that. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. Again, here's kind of another lesson, and I always put, whenever there is a lesson, I try to put the samples that we got from our students, right, so they can see. And then I go more down. Let's see, you guys can see. Here we go. Okay, so this is one of my favorite units. It's just called helpful or harmful activity. So what they have to do is they'll read a sample scenario, and then they have to rate it from 1 to 5, 1 being harmless and 10 being harmful, on the situation, right? So she's Michaela's not old enough to have a public profile on TikTok. Her parents also don't allow her to have one yet, but all of her friends are on TikTok. So she creates a fake profile with the name Kayla. She puts all kinds of information about herself, like photos, videos, and all the things we should want to share about herself. She tells her friends about her fake profile so they can become her friend online. She keeps it a secret from her family. So on the next slide, they have to, what motivates this person to present himself or herself directly online? And then what are the consequences of the person's activity? How do you think it might end up affecting the person? How it might affect other people? So it makes them think about even admin, like our, well, this one's for parents, but for another one, it would be admin doing investigation, or the teacher, I think there's one where the kid cheats, right? So making them think about those different people, it walks them through the different scenarios. And then after the different scenarios, the next lesson is actually current events, where they actually have to look up current events where kids did get in trouble for something online. This one was actually the kid got in trouble and then it got taken back, because they were posting about how nasty their water is. This is disgusting. But then it's a great teachable moment, because it's like, why didn't we go to the principal first? There's an order of command, like teaching students then how we should do that. We need to teach even adults that now, right? Like that order of command on that end. So just kind of knowing the flow of how that course looks. So again, that is called the social media literacy curriculum. And everything is all there. Okay. All right. So let me go back. And again, there's a breakdown. There's what the syllabus looks like. We literally have pretty much everything. If you're looking to want to learn something, we have an admin course. It just walks you through everything. It has videos. If you need to update your policy, that's in there, because that Supreme Court ruling with the cheerleader, is your policies up to date? Like, go through our thing, because then it's going to give you actual samples so you can get your, videos keep wanting to click. So let me see, click up here. The other thing we like is that people love our stuff because you keep the message going by wearing the shirts. This is a school that's wearing shirts that say, do more things that make you forget about your phone, or your, that kind of thing. Entire staff wore this on the first day. I mean, look how bright and happy those shirts are. So it's just kind of neat to be able to have that. We have posters, right, to keep the message there. We have a course now online, Building Trust and Safety. We have an engagement course. If you are have a school page and you don't know what to post on there, you got to meet them where they're at. It's pretty simple. Meet them where they're at. You got to start engaging. So it's teaching you, or if you have a student council and they're posting for you, it's teaching them what to do on that end. And then we have an online safety course, which is free, so you can kind of get an idea of how we kind of operate, okay? Because students are definitely part of the solution. We have free club kits, just easy because our students are making all these amazing things. Every month we have what's called Students for Good, where students can come on, they do a 3-minute pitch about a project they're doing in their community, to be able to have that. And then what we're starting, our mentors are starting next year, is we're doing a Parents for Good podcast. So it's 2 parents that are mentors with us that are going to do a podcast. They're going to start having conversations with parents and with the students. From that, we'll be able to figure out where our needs rely, so we can make more one-pagers, free one-pagers for parents and educate them that way. Again, there's Aaron Judge with our nominations for the All Rise to Help. I'm going to nominate people. And then we also have our Digital for Good event where students can be recognized for that. You get it, you can live stream it into your classrooms, because I think it's important for us to show how students are using it for good as much as we talk about the bad stuff, if not more, right? So just know that's all there. And then we're partnered up. We walk side by side with these big tech companies. We get to have calls with them. We just had a call with Snap. We just were at Supercell, which is a big gaming company. If you've heard of Heyday or Clash of Clans, we were just at their office space last week to do our 5-year goal plan. So we truly do have everything. If you want to decrease your discipline, you need to decrease your online drama, and we're your one-stop shop on that end, right? Because it's building those 3 pillars of leadership and education and engagement is how you start having conversations with your students. Please reach out if you guys have any questions. If you're on the call, you guys can put some chats in the things, or else I'll stop recording and get that going. Thanks for being here.